Every day, millions of coins change hands, yet most are never noticed, never valued, never treasured. But hidden among ordinary Australian 10-pence coins are the legends, the ultra-rare, the extraordinary, the coins that can turn an ordinary collection into a fortune. Today, we're revealing the top 3 ultra-rare Australian 10-pence coins, coins so rare and valuable that collectors will stop at nothing to find them. Some were struck with errors that make them one of a kind. Others disappeared decades ago, only to resurface in the most unexpected places, and a few hold stories that stretch back through history, secrets that only a handful of people in the world know. Imagine holding one in your hand, a coin so rare it could change your life forever. These coins are more than currency. They are keys to history, mystery, and unimaginable wealth. Collectors across the globe hunt for them with obsession, trading fortunes to possess them, and yet, one of these legendary treasures could already be sitting in your own collection, quietly waiting to be discovered. In this video, we'll take you on a journey through time and rarity, revealing the coins that could make you a collector's legend, the coins that defy belief, and the coins that, if found, could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Don't scroll away, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a 10-pence coin the same way again. The Australian 10-cent coin, introduced in 1966, holds a significant place in the nation's numismatic history. The 1975 10-cent coin is part of this enduring series and represents a continuation of Australia's decimal currency journey, which began when the country shifted from pounds, shillings, and pence to dollars and cents. The 10-cent coin replaced the pre-decimal florin and quickly became one of the most recognized coins in everyday circulation. The coin was designed by Stuart Devlin, a renowned Australian artist and goldsmith whose work has become synonymous with Australian coinage. The reverse design of the 10-cent coin features a magnificent lyrebird, a bird native to Australia, known for its elaborate tail and remarkable ability to mimic sounds. The lyrebird symbolizes Australia's rich natural heritage and artistic beauty. Devlin's design captures the grace and intricate details of the lyrebird's feathers, which has made the 10-cent coin a favorite among collectors and the public alike. The obverse side features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machine. This portrait was first introduced in 1966 and remained on the coin until 1984, when it was later replaced by Raphael Maklouf's updated effigy. The 1975 10-cent coin was minted at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra and was struck in cupro nickel and alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin weighs 5.65 grams, measures 23.6 millimeters in diameter, and has a milled edge. Its durable composition and precise craftsmanship ensured that it remained resilient in circulation even decades later. Although 1975 was not a key date in terms of rarity or special minting, the coin still holds historical value as part of the early decimal coinage series. Collectors appreciate coins from the 1970s for their connection to Australia's transformation during a time of modernization, social change, and economic development. These coins serve as small metallic records of the era. By 1975, the design and production of the 10-cent coin had become highly refined, and the Royal Australian Mint maintained a strong reputation for quality and precision. The total mintage of 10-cent coins that year was high enough to meet national circulation needs, ensuring that the coin remained a staple in Australian wallets and cash registers across the country. The lack of significant mint errors or low mintages means that the 1975 10-cent coin is relatively common today, though uncirculated or proof condition examples can attract collector interest. Over the decades, the 10-cent coin has remained a consistent and familiar piece of Australian currency, retaining its original lyrebird design for more than half a century. Its unchanged imagery is a testament to the enduring appeal of Devlin's artwork and the cultural importance of the lyrebird itself. The continued use of the coin also reflects the stability of Australia's culture. The continuing history of the Australia 10-cent coin from 1975 also connects deeply with the evolution of Australian society during that decade, a period marked by cultural transformation, growing national confidence, and shifts in the global landscape which influenced the way Australians perceived their money, their economy, and even their national symbols. As the 10-cent coin circulated through countless daily transactions, it became a silent witness to the lifestyles of Australians living in the mid-1970s, a generation shaped by new technologies, social movements, and a rapidly changing world. During the mid-70s, Australians were adapting to new forms of entertainment and communication technology. Color television had recently been introduced, bringing vivid imagery into homes across the country and influencing consumer culture and social interaction. The 10-cent coin was frequently used to purchase everyday items like milk, newspapers, and bus fares, and in that era, small denominations carried meaningful purchasing power. The coin also passed through the hands of children who used it for school snacks, gumball machines, or arcade games, making it a part of daily childhood memory. The significance of this coin is therefore not only numismatic, but also cultural, as it became woven into the fabric of everyday life. The year 1975 itself carried intense political drama. Following one of the most debated events in Australian history, the dismissal of the Whitlam government, which created shockwaves throughout the country. The economic cuts, restructuring, and political tensions influenced national conversations, and everyday people felt these events in their financial habits and in the way money circulated. While the 10-cent coin did not change physically during this period, its presence in the pockets of citizens during these dramatic national shifts gives it a particular historical gravity. Coins often become markers of memory associated with the atmosphere of their time, and the 1975 10-cent coin is inseparable from the era's political and economic upheaval. At the Royal Australian Mint coin production in 1975 continued with precision and purpose, despite the national turbulence. The Mint's operations were part of a larger effort to maintain confidence in the nation's currency system. Reliability and consistency were essential, and workers at the Mint dedicated themselves to producing coins that met strict standards. The cupro-nickel composition, which blended copper and nickel, had proven durable and resistant to corrosion characteristics that ensured the coins would remain functional for decades. As a result, many examples of the 1975 10-cent coin still look remarkably sharp, even after years of use, showcasing the effectiveness of the minting process used in that decade. The artistic legacy of the coin is equally important. Stuart Devlin's reverse design featuring the superb lyre bird was more than a decorative image. It was a celebration of the natural world that helped define Australia in the minds of people at home and abroad. The lyrebird's impressive mimicry skills and its elaborate tail feathers had long fascinated Australians, and Devlin captured that sense of wonder by crafting a dynamic and elegant representation that wrapped beautifully around the coin's surface. For people who handled the coin daily, the lyrebird became an instantly recognizable national emblem, one that communicated both beauty and strength. The 1975 issue preserved this design in its full detail, making it a treasured example among collectors who appreciate Devlin's artistry. In addition to the coin's artistic and cultural significance, its place in the broader economic environment of the 1970s is also worth understanding. Australia, during this time, was navigating global oil shocks, rising inflation, and shifting trade dynamics which placed pressure on domestic finances. In such conditions, the availability and reliability of small change played a surprisingly important role in everyday commerce. Retailers needed steady supplies of coins to make change, commuters relied on coins for public transport, and households tracked their spending carefully as prices fluctuated. The history of the Australia 10-cent coin, 1994, begins with the introduction of decimal currency in Australia on February 14, 1966, when the country shifted from pounds, shillings, and pence to dollars and cents. The 10-cent coin was part of the new decimal series and replaced the pre-decimal shilling in both size and value. The coin features the image of a male lyrebird, one of Australia's most unique native birds, known for its remarkable ability to mimic sounds. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, the renowned Australian goldsmith and coin designer who also designed many other Australian coins. The reverse design featuring the lyrebird has remained unchanged since its introduction in 1966, symbolizing continuity and the natural beauty of Australian wildlife. The obverse side of the 1994 10-cent coin bears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This particular year featured the Raphael Makhlouf effigy, which was used on Australian coins from 1985 to 1998. The portrait depicts the Queen wearing the royal diadem worn for the state opening of Parliament. This effigy replaced the earlier Arnold machine portrait and was itself replaced later in 1999 by the Ian Rank Broadley design. The 1994 10-cent coin therefore represents the late Makhlouf era in Australian coinage. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance. It weighs 5.65 grams and measures 23.6 millimeters in diameter. The 1994 issue was minted at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, with a standard circulation mintage of several million coins. The exact figure is not extremely rare, but like all coins of its period, it holds value for collectors, especially those looking for well-preserved, uncirculated examples. Throughout the 1990s, the 10-cent coin continued to serve as one of the most commonly used denominations in daily transactions, representing a key element of Australia's monetary system. The design and metal composition remained unchanged through the decade, even as inflation gradually reduced its purchasing power. However, the coin's classic appearance and national symbolism kept it relevant and familiar to generations of Australians. In 1994, Australia's economy was in a phase of recovery and modernization following the economic challenges of the late 1980s and early 1990s. The stability of the nation's coinage, including the 10-cent piece, reflected the enduring nature of the Australian dollar system. The minting process at the Royal Australian Mint continued to focus on high-quality production and artistic design, ensuring that coins like the 10-cent maintained their aesthetic and functional standards. Collectors often examine 1994 10-cent coins for mint errors or proof set variations. Although the regular circulation coins are common, the proof issues minted for collector sets have a mirror finish and are more sought after by numismatists. These proof coins were specially struck using polished dies and planchets, resulting in a brilliant surface and sharp detail. Proof sets from 1994 are now collectible items representing Australian coinage history from the late 20th century. The 10-cent coin also carries cultural significance because of its iconic lyrebird design. The lyrebird is found primarily in the forests of southeastern Australia and has long been admired for its elaborate tail feathers and mimicry abilities. The bird's inclusion on the coin connects Australian money to the country's natural heritage and wildlife conservation identity. It remains one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. From a historical perspective, the 1994 10-cent coin marks nearly 3 decades of continuous circulation since decimalization, and it shows the enduring design principles of Australian coinage, which balance tradition and practicality. The same coin still circulates today with little modification other than the portrait of the reigning monarch. Over time, it has become a small but important artifact of Australia's economic and cultural story. In summary, the 1994 Australian 10-cent coin stands as a piece of modern numismatic history, reflecting a stable national currency, artistic excellence, and the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. It captures the continuity of design from the 1966 introduction of decimal currency through the technological and cultural changes of the 1990s. Its lyrebird symbol celebrates the uniqueness of Australia's wildlife and remains a proud emblem of national identity seen daily in the hands of millions of Australians. The deeper history behind the 1994 Australian 10-cent coin connects to the broader story of Australia's move toward modern coinage systems and national identity. When Australia adopted decimal currency in 1966, the government aimed to modernize trade and simplify daily transactions which had been complicated under the British-style system of shillings and pence. The introduction of the dollar and cent system marked a major cultural and economic transition. The 10-cent coin specifically replaced the shilling, which had been a core part of Australian currency since colonial times. By keeping the coin roughly the same size and value as the shilling, Australians could adapt more easily to the new decimal structure. The 10-cent coin's reverse design, featuring the superb lyrebird, was chosen not only for its beauty, but also for its symbolic connection to Australia's natural environment. The lyrebird's ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds made it a metaphor for creativity and adaptability, qualities that resonated with a nation embracing modernization. The artist Stuart Devlin was known for infusing Australian coins with elements of the country's unique wildlife and landscapes, helping to distinguish Australian money from its British heritage. Devlin's designs gave coins a distinctly Australian identity, and the lyrebird became one of the most enduring symbols in circulation. The 1994 10-cent coin was struck during a period when the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra was focusing heavily on production consistency and technological precision. The Mint had by then gained an international reputation for quality craftsmanship. The 1990s were an era when coinage design around the world was becoming more advanced due to improved minting techniques and the use of computer-assisted engraving. These advancements allowed for sharper details in the lyrebird's tail feathers and the Queen's effigy on the obverse. During this time, Australia was also issuing special commemorative coins for events and anniversaries while maintaining its regular coinage series. The 1994 10-cent coin was not a commemorative piece, but it circulated alongside various special issues, such as the 1993 Land Care and 1995 United Nations commemorative coins. This was a period when public interest in numismatics, coin collecting, was growing rapidly in Australia. The release of annual proof and mint sets drew collectors both locally and internationally, leading to a broader appreciation of coins as historical and artistic items rather than mere currency. Economically, the 1990s were years of growth following recovery from the early decade recession. Inflation was relatively low, and the Australian dollar remained stable. This meant that the 10-cent coin retained a practical use in everyday transactions. It was used widely in vending machines, public telephones, and small retail purchases. Its continued use reflected the coin's durability and usefulness, even as other denominations like the 1 and 2 cent coins were withdrawn from circulation in 1992, just 2 years earlier. The removal of those lower denominations made the 10-cent coin the smallest active Australian coin by value, increasing its importance in the decimal system. In 1994, the Macloof portrait of Queen Elizabeth II remained the standard depiction of the monarch on all Australian coins. This effigy represented a more regal and formal image compared to the earlier portraits used during the 1960s and 1970s. The choice of portrait designs on coins is not arbitrary. They reflect each era's artistic interpretation of monarchy and continuity across the Commonwealth. For historians and collectors, the Macloof effigy helps date coins to a specific era of Australian history, characterized by modernization, global trade growth, and increasing national pride. The 10-cent coin also played a role in Australia's cultural landscape through its appearance in education and daily life. Many Australians of the 1990s learned basic arithmetic using coins like the 10-cent piece in school classrooms. It became part of children's first understanding of money. The story of the Australia 10-cent coin in 2014 begins long before the year itself, because understanding the background of this coin requires exploring the evolution of Australian currency, the transformation of national identity, and the changing technology of the Royal Australian Mint. The 10-cent coin, as it existed in 2014, carried a legacy that stretched back to the introduction of decimal currency in 1966, when Australia shifted from pounds, shillings, and pence to dollars and cents, marking one of the most important economic transitions in the nation's modern history. When decimalization arrived, the 10-cent coin replaced the pre-decimal shilling, and to many Australians it felt both familiar and new at the same time. The reverse of the coin, designed by the legendary Australian artist Stuart Devlin, featured the now iconic image of the lyrebird, one of Australia's most extraordinary native creatures, known for its remarkable ability to imitate sounds ranging from other birds to man-made noises. Devlin wanted a symbol that represented Australia's natural world, while also fitting gracefully on a small circulating coin, and the lyrebird quickly became one of the most recognizable designs in the country's coinage history. By the time 2014 arrived, the 10-cent coin had already been circulating for nearly half a century, yet its design remained unchanged, a testament to its simplicity, beauty, and cultural significance. Over the decades, the coin had witnessed countless technological upgrades at the Royal Australian Mint, including improvements to metal quality, striking precision, security features, and mass production capability. While the appearance stayed familiar, the methods behind its creation continued to become more advanced and efficient. In 2014, every 10-cent coin was struck from cupronickel, composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving the coin its durable, silvery color and its long-lasting wear resistance, which made it ideal for the heavy circulation coins typically face in everyday transactions. The obverse of the 2014 coin featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, introduced in 1999 and used on Australian coinage for many years. This portrait is known for its realism compared to earlier versions, and by 2014 it had become the standard representation of the Queen on circulating Australian coins. It depicted her wearing the royal diadem and displayed a mature but dignified profile, capturing the continuity of the monarchy throughout the modern era of Australia's economy. The year 2014 itself was not a major commemorative year for the 10-cent denomination, which means there were no special designs or limited edition versions made for circulation. But these regular year issues serve as important markers of the economic activity of the period. Coins from this year represent everyday life in Australia, including the spending patterns, commerce, and financial behavior of the early 2010s. Despite being considered a common year, some collectors pay attention to subtle details. In 2014, coins such as strike clarity, rim thickness, die variations, and overall condition, which can make high-grade coins desirable, especially in mint state levels. While most circulated examples hold face value, only premium uncirculated and proof pieces from official sets can be more valuable to numismatists who focus on date runs or complete decimal collections. 2014 was also a year in which the Royal Australian Mint continued refining its production efficiency and quality control. During this period, the Mint placed increasing emphasis on sustainability, responsible sourcing, and recycling of metals, all of which influenced how coins like the 10-cent piece were produced. Even though millions of 10-cent coins already existed in circulation, the Mint often produced new batches to meet commercial demand, replace worn-out coins, and ensure that adequate coin supply remained available throughout Australia. This process demonstrates how essential small denominations remain, even in an age where digital transactions continued to expand. In terms of design significance, the lyrebird remained a powerful cultural symbol in 2014, reminding Australians of their connection to the land and the uniqueness of the nation's wildlife. Stuart Devlin's design survived decades of change, political shifts, and technological revolutions because it embodied simplicity, artistic expression, and national pride. Devlin himself was a key figure in Australia's decimal currency program, and his contributions form an important part of the country's design heritage. His works have been studied, analyzed, and appreciated by both art scholars and coin collectors around the world. For collectors, coins from 2014 offer a snapshot of a transitional era when Australia's economy continued modernizing, but traditional currency still played an important daily role. Many pieces from this year remain in excellent condition because of their relatively recent issue date, making them accessible for beginners while still holding long-term historical relevance. Proof versions struck specifically for collectors exhibit mirror-like surfaces, frosted reliefs, and superior detail, offering a clear view of Devlin's lyrebird and Rank Broadley's portrait. In broader history, the 2014 10-cent coin stands as part of the ongoing narrative of Australian decimal coinage, reflecting the social, cultural, and economic environment of the time. Every coin serves as both a functional object and a miniature artwork, recording the continuity of national symbols, the endurance of royal portraits, and the craftsmanship of Australian minting. Even though it may seem simple or common, each 10-cent coin carries within it the story of the people who used it, the artists who designed it, and the mint workers who crafted it. By tracing its lineage from the introduction of decimal currency to the technologies and designs of the early 21st century, the 2014 Australia 10-cent coin becomes far more than a small piece of metal. It becomes a chapter in the broader story of Australia's evolving identity and a link between generations of Australians who used the same familiar lyrebird design as part of everyday life. As the story of the Australia 10-cent coin continues beyond its technical details, the deeper cultural significance of the coin becomes even more apparent. By 2014, the coin had been in circulation long enough to become a quiet constant in Australian daily life, something most people carried used and accepted without a second thought. Yet its history reveals a remarkable connection between art, economics, wildlife, and national identity. The lyrebird design, chosen nearly 50 years earlier, continued to serve as a reminder of Australia's dedication to representing its native creatures on its currency. The lyrebird itself is a symbol of creativity, adaptation, and the rich biodiversity that defines the Australian landscape. In many ways, the longevity of the reverse design mirrors the enduring survival of the species which has thrived in forests where resilience and adaptability are essential.